I wanted to share with you a conversation I had with some neighbors of ours. We have a farm in a former sundown town. I won't say where, but it's in the middle of the US of A. I'm a black man. I grew up experiencing consciousness about, or what I perceived was consciousness. But after this conversation, I decided to compile a video and share with you about how it went. So thank you for watching, and hopefully you can follow. I entitled this video, "The White Man Must Be God, so Black Lives Matter should bow down for a better quality of life. An intelligent parody of conscience overstanding." The Holy Bible seems to be the book of the land. It seems to be a guide to what we're about to discuss. It's the beginning of man, and it tells the true story of man. In the beginning, there was Adam and Eve, and obviously Adam and Eve was white. All the prophets, like Abraham, Jesus, which is also the only begotten Son of God, which is very important to recognize. That is the beginning of man. Moses, Queen Cleopatra, which shows that the white gods have been running the planet from the beginning. It's obvious that all the prophets were white. And I say that because they have control of everything. And no matter how much we complain, preach police brutality, the white man has done this to us, he put us in slavery, that there's a reason behind that, and that we have no power. Adam and Eve, in the beginning, God talked to them, surrounded by angels, gave them instructions while they rule the world today. So it's important for us to deduct that all the Black Power speeches and the wannabe supreme over the white man is just a fantasy. It's obvious that the white man is doing what he was created to do. Jesus, Abraham, Moses, kings and pharaohs were all white men. This earth belongs to them. Africans were created to serve God. that's all they did was rescue us from a savage life living in Africa. And they were ordained, because they are descendants of God, to build a paradise on earth. So we were bred, and the reason we bred in the image of the white man and cursed with the melanin, or blessed with it, you would need it if you were working the hot sun, because of course we were made to be able to build the things that we've built. No other animal has 10 fingers, 10 toes, opposable thumbs or non-opposable thumbs. So they had to build, God had to build servants in his image, but put that melanin in their skin in order for them to be able to recognize that they were the labor pool. But that labor pool had to be controlled. And this is the guy who did the controlling. He commissioned a playbook, if you will, that it didn't have to make sense. One of the great God's forefathers, it's obvious that all the great kings were white. These were the merchants that got wealthy by selling their own people into slavery, which they knew that they were being rescued. They needed to be rescued from the life they had over there, because they had to. They were created to breed the labor pool for paradise. Somebody had to build it. Another great man, very shrewd businessman, and Andrew Jackson. Of course, these are the great men of the country that I was born in, North America, and now they've, their whole concept has conquered the planet. But these are the great gods, and you don't see no Negroes in there. So again, they were just doing business, early businessmen. One of the great gods that has a statue along I-45 in Texas today. These great men, if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be able to be the consumer that you are. These are great white gods that walk the earth. If you're interested in the hierarchy of the way things work, this is a prime example. There's only a few, the 1%ers, you know them by, and all the white folks should be mad that, it's really on their backs, because they're the majority and they're descendants of God. Again, just business. Don't we blend in so good in the cotton field, because that's where we belong. We got protection from the sun or our melanin, and we are the best labor pool. Another great white man that significantly changed the way you live today. You and I both live today. A great white God that walked the earth. Black people have no power against the living God. We just talk and march and talk, but won't bust the great. Fear is what we have against the great gods. All lives matter, but white lives are more precious because they are descendants of God. No Negroes in the room. They come in to clean up because they're servants. These men made it possible for these, the heir to these people, no Negroes in that crowd neither, to become these people. they're voting in our best interest. The white man must be God, so Black Lives Matter should bow down for a better quality of life. If we as descendants of servants to the living God would just stop marching and protesting and follow the law and order of the living gods, we will find true peace on this earth. The police are just angels guarding the earth for God. They can do no wrong, for they have permission to control the flock by any means necessary. Which brings in this God, J. Edgar Hoover, a great white God, a pharaoh. From U.S. Congress to the president, he had carte blanche to keep the servants in check, and he did just so. He is responsible for all the drugs coming into the U.S. of A. And the laws of, I'm going to bring in these drugs, but you are not to touch them or use them or sell them, or you will be subjected to punishment. Of course, it sounds like the Bible, don't it? God put it here for you, but tell you not to touch it. And if you do, you will be punished. So, a living God, y'all better recognize, he right here in your face. The police are just God's angels. They can do no wrong. The Industrial Revolution. Let's go back to the labor pool. How pretty this seems to you. Their children and offsprings and hair were the labor pool behind building this great land. And the supreme God, again, is white. Big money that's made, that rises above the capital. Black people have no power. Black journalists just talk. Black civil leaders just talk. Black power leaders just talk. YouTubers just talk, talk, talk. Every time you get down to the nitty gritty, action is wrong. Self-defense is wrong. Speaking truth to power is wrong. Of course. You got to learn how to bow down to the master. A few people I fucks with. Or used to, rather, because, and everybody should read this because basically he tells you how to praise the white folks. The white man must be God. He controls the heavens and the earth. Black Lives Matter should bow down so blacks would have a better quality of life. The statement is just saying that look at how Congress looks today and know that if we just did what they told us to do, we would have a more harmonious and a better quality of life than what we've been having. Pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, get off that welfare system and start being creative and doing what we need to do. Wouldn't have the problems. This was one of the most powerful things that the Creator created, and that's why it's still controlled today. What you're seeing is the first photo of the first day shot broadcast of television. And blacks kept their rightful place in front Dang, we from the same hometown. They've always had their servants who help keep the other servants in check, but that's natural order. These are privilege. And if you had a chance to be privileged, wouldn't you be privileged? Black people should be grateful to the founding fathers of this great country. This is the greatest country on the earth where servants can live an improved consumer-based life. This life is for God, so blacks have to wait till the hereafter to get your reward for serving the living gods. So again, let us quit complaining about the hard job of cops, the police. If black people would act civilized and follow God's law and order, then we would not have so-called police brutality. It would not exist. They are doing God's work. I have questions. Now I want to end this video because I used to think one way, but now I understand, so I forgive them. You know, they probably don't give a damn, but about my opinion about it. But certain things, I was against the interracial thing, but I see when you're trying to go from servant to godship, and especially when you made it, they allow you to make money and fame and fortune, and how you want your money and your future to go further. Well, if they're black people, then if you can stay with a black person, then it don't. So I was against, you know, some of those who, you know, crossed over and gave it up to somebody white. But now I understand. Except for that one. And I've been thinking that, boy, how beautiful this sings. And I have a beautiful queen, a beautiful, bodacious, black ebony queen. The reason blacks excel in sports, music, and film is because they are natural entertainers, born and bred to serve the Most High. It's why we don't excel in business or politics. We are not smart like the Creator. If we just learn our place, we will have a better quality of life. And I have to consider getting rid of my beautiful, bodacious, black queen and get me one of these. Because that way my seed will live on forever, and I will be part of the heavenly kingdom of God. I might come from this, and I might have to deal with this. But if Black Lives Matter would just bow down, black people will have a better quality of life. Again, this has been a parody, which means not true, but a conversation worth having. We need to quit just talking and create positive action. Thank you for watching. Look for more videos from your brother, Jamil.